Loki is the third Marvel Studios show to debut on Disney Plus and is a time-hopping good time with the always likable Tom Hiddleston reprising the role that made him a star in this spin-off show from Avengers Endgame. The show picks up from that movie, from the scene in which a Loki in 2012 picks up the Tesseract or Cosmic Cube during the Battle of New York, again in 2012, and is ultimately transported and finds himself captured and then enlisted in the Time Variance Authority, or TVA, an organization which prunes branches off of the one sacred timeline to keep the flow of time in order. The TVA then uses this Loki to their advantage by having him assist in hunting another version or variant of Loki who is on the run from the TVA. The show is created by Michael Waldron, who has previously worked on Rick and Morty and Community. So Marvel definitely likes picking people from Community, as Joe and Anthony Russo, who worked on the Avengers films, Infinity War and Endgame, and Winter Soldier and Civil War. They also worked on Community as well. And Kevin Feige, producer at Marvel, is definitely keeping Michael Waldron around because he is also currently working on Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. A lot of positives about the show. I liked it a lot for a Disney Plus show. I really think they've been hitting it out of the park with these shows. Tom Hiddleston returns. Owen Wilson as Mobius. The casting is great all around. Gugu Mbatha-Raw, Sophia Di Martino as Sylvie. And also Tara Strong, the great voice actress Tara Strong, playing the role of Miss Minutes, bridging the gap between DC and Marvel properties. Tara Strong is widely known as the voice of Harley Quinn in a lot of animated Batman properties. Marvel is also embracing the bizarre side of their comic book lore here. We are dealing with multiverse, big concept ideas, a lot of bizarre stuff, a lot of different versions of Loki, and they have a lot of fun with it, and it's fun to see come to life on screen. There's a lot more in-depth character exploration through conversations rather than all-out action in the show, which I did appreciate. Thinking back on it, I think that a lot of this may be due to being filmed during the pandemic, and so a lot of scenes are just two people talking. In fact, the whole finale episode is pretty much 45 minutes of just one conversation, but it's never boring, it's very entertaining, and it really serves itself well as a great avenue for in-depth character development and exploration, especially with a character like Loki, who has been around since almost the very beginning for the MCU, and we get to see him still evolve through simple conversation. And my last big positive for the show is that it really blows the doors open for what's to come in the MCU. The finale ends with a bang, and I'm really excited to see the future of the MCU, where it goes from here. Some negatives. Episode 3 was a little bit weaker when it felt like the show maybe was stalling or a little bit stuck in its tracks for a bit. There are some major exposition dumps in this show, which understandably, while needed given the bizarre concepts we're dealing with here, it can be a bit tough to digest in just one viewing. So repeat viewings are probably highly recommended for this type of show. The finale episode, again, like I said, it serves as a great setup for what's to come. I was not disappointed in the finale. I think it's actually the strongest finale Marvel has had on Disney Plus so far. So while it does set up a lot of stuff, it's not as much of a neat little bow on the character analysis of Loki as earlier episodes had me wishing for. But alas, one of the big announcements is that a season 2 is coming, so maybe we will get that neat little bow on the development of Loki as a character later down the road. And then my last negative really is that there was no jet ski in the finale. What a disappointment. What a huge bummer. But my overall consensus is that this is the most consistently good MCU show thus far, and maybe my favorite of the 3 released as well, as one of the more interesting stories in the MCU in its entirety. I think for the Disney Plus shows, WandaVision I really enjoyed. I've enjoyed all of them, but WandaVision I think started off great, and then I think kind of didn't stick the landing for me perfectly. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I think, had a slower start and then kind of, handled the finale better. But Loki, all the way through, I think has been, very consistent. in its quality. So I'm going to give Loki season 1 a 4 out of 5. And then as we get into spoilers, I do want to discuss some stuff of where I think the show is going next for season 2 and the MCU in the future. So spoilers, come back after you watched the finale. In 3, 2, 1. I really enjoyed the mixing of Kang with He Who Remains into one character. The MCU has a habit of taking 2 comic book characters and kind of taking bits and pieces and merging them into one character, just to make it a little bit more mainstream, more digestible for the audience. They've done this before in Iron Man 3 with Aldrich Killian and the Mandarin. Took elements and combined them into one. I really liked how they did that here. He Who Remains and Kang, for that matter, are kind of out there concepts, but bringing in Jonathan Majors to play this character and really making him really fun to watch and doing a little bit of a twist on the character. So I'm excited to see where they use Kang in the future. The fact that the multiverse war was a war between various Kangs, awesome. Kang in the comics, I may do another video separately on Kang, but Kang in the comics essentially is time travels. There are other variants or versions of Kang, but the idea that a variant of Kang was behind everything here, but it was like a nice version of Kang, and then him warning Loki and Sylvie that, wait until you see my variants if you think I'm bad. It could get really fun, really interesting to see what Jonathan Majors does with this character moving forward. He is confirmed to be in Ant-Man 3, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, the film coming down the line. So I'm excited to see where he pops up. It feels like Phase 4 branching out with all these multiverses happening now, that Kang might pop up in several different projects. So I'm excited to see where that goes. A lot of good Easter eggs in the show as well. The Thanos copter in episode 5. Episode 5 was full of Easter eggs for comic nerds. And Thanos copter, Throg, Mjolnir. In fact, the episode title of episode 5, Journey into Mystery, harkening back to the comic series that Thor and Loki first appeared in. Great stuff. Hunter B-15 showing the other hunters that they are all variants. So trying to spread the truth and bring down the TVA. Excited to see where that goes. Not sure where it's going to go, but I'm excited. Hunter B-15 was a great character. The fact that season 2 is coming, was not expecting that at all. I was expecting all of the Disney Plus MCU shows to just be one season, one and done. That's how it's been for WandaVision, limited series, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Maybe they'll do a season 2 of Captain America and the Winter Soldier. We'll see. But season 2 of Loki, I'm there. Where did Ravonna Renslayer go? Don't know. What's next for Sylvie? That'll be exciting to see. And when is Doctor Strange getting involved? Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is the next Doctor Strange film that is coming. So I'm excited to see where that goes. Of course, he's going to be dealing with a lot of this aftermath. And then, of course, Spider-Man No Way Home coming later this year, hopefully. They stick that release date. Where's the trailer, Sony? Where's the trailer? But, of course, that's also heavily rumored to have Spider-Verse and multiverse properties as well. So, excited to see where everything goes. MCU's future is very bright. Can't believe... Well, I'm a huge fan of it, so I'm excited that I can say that, but I did have my concerns that Endgame would really serve as like the ending, and everything else would not be able to match up, or it would take a long time to get back to that level. But I feel like they haven't really lost any steam at all, so I'm excited to see where it goes. That's all I got for now. I'm Brandon K, making your day.